Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Today, I'm going to share with you my all-time favorite apps that will help boost your productivity. Welcome along to FBP Live, our 5 minutes of Fit Inspiration show, where every single week I share with you bite-sized business tips in close to 5 minutes. Guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Now, Patrick, good morning. Bright and early on our Wednesday morning or a Tuesday night for you right now. I am so excited. I'm pumped about this show because productivity apps are such an important part of what I do on a day-to-day basis. It really helps me manage my workload. So I'm excited to share these with you guys so that I hope that they can help you guys out as well. Now, today's tips were actually inspired by not one, but 2 different shows. First one was Eric Fisher back in show 174, and he talked about 11 apps that all fitness professionals should need. And the second show was actually just last week's show with Mark Fisher. It was show 183, and he talked about supercharging your productivity. Eric Fisher, Mark Fisher, as far as I know, I don't think there's any relationship between the two Fisher, but it's just a pure coincidence. But both of them did talk about apps, and that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. So not only did I draw inspiration from those shows, but these are actually apps that I use, most importantly. So I've tried them, I've tested them, and I've been using them for a long time. Now, as you might have seen when I did the initial introduction for the promotion for this show, I've broken these down into 3 different categories. The first category is tracking time. The second one is saving time, and the third one is being time efficient. So we're keeping on track with our productivity theme for today. Patrick, Eric's episode was great. Yes, I totally agree. I loved that episode. Okay, guys, you ready for this? And I think initially I said I was going to share with you 3. I've actually got 5. So I'm breaking the rules already, but let's just get stuck straight into it today. Here we go. So just a quick reminder, if you like the apps that I share with you, make sure that you give me a little love heart, give me a thumbs up, and make sure you tag someone if you think these might be of interest to them as well. Okay, so first one is for tracking time. Now, this app is called Toggl, Toggl. I did mention it in the show towards the end of Mark's show last week. Now, I found personally, there was probably a couple of years ago, I thought that there were some tasks that I was spending a huge amount of time doing and other tasks that I thought were really quick, but I wasn't totally sure. It was kind of just a bit of a gut feeling. Now, Toggl, Toggl, you just jump online. I think it's toggl.com. And it's a super simple time tracking tool. So if you want to work out how much time you're spending on a particular task, you literally can just type in the description of the task so that you can keep track of it. You press start, you start doing the task, you start typing it out, whatever it might be, and then you press stop. And it's really, really simple, easy to use time tracking tool. For me personally, I found it really fascinating because some of those tasks that I thought I was spending a really long time on, I wasn't spending anywhere near as much time on those. And then there were others that I thought I was doing really quickly and really efficiently. In actual fact, they were taking me much longer than I expected. So Toggl is a really great app when it comes to tracking time. Now, there's a second one, and this one I haven't used. So Toggl I've used for ages. This one I haven't used, but I absolutely love the sound of this. It has been recommended to me before, and it's called Rescue Time. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. Give me a thumbs up if you had. So Rescue Time is much more specific, and basically Rescue Time actually monitors all the different websites that you visit, the amount of time that you spend on there. It logs that time, and then it also gives you like it shares with you data on how much time you're spending on things like social media sites versus other type of working things like, say, Word documents or spending time on your email and that type of thing. So you can get a really accurate idea of whether perhaps your balance is out in your workload and maybe you're spending a little bit too much time doing some of the social media stuff instead of doing the work stuff. So that second one was called Rescue Time. So that's our first 2 done. The next one is about saving time. Now, this first app I actually got from Eric Fisher back in what show did I say that it was? show 74. If you guys missed that show, it is an absolute ripper. So show 174 with Eric Fisher, we talked about 11 really great apps that you need. Now, we talked about this and I have been using it obsessively ever since, and it is called Text Expander. Text Expander. Which is TXT Expander. Now, here's the cool thing about this. In your business, in your day-to-day, I want you to think about if there are any, say, emails or responses or questions that you might receive on a regular basis over and over again. So is someone writing to you saying, oh, can you tell me what your personal training prices are? Or can you tell me a little bit about your business? Or whatever question you might get in on a regular basis that you find yourself just typing the same answer over and over again. You're responding with a similar answer each time. Chances are there probably is. For me, there's heaps. When people send in guest requests when they want to be on the show, then I'm always sending back really similar responses if they're a yes or a no or maybe whatever it might be. With Text Expander, what you can do is you actually set up like a snippet. It's kind of like a code word. Hey, Maddie. So you set up a code word, and for me, it might be respond yes to guest. That might be kind of the sentence, if you will. But underneath that, you actually type in what your standard response is. So it might be a couple of paragraphs that you would respond. Now, instead of having to cut and paste every time you need to respond to someone who sends you that request, what you do is you set up Text Expander. You literally just type in that one snippet, which would be respond yes to guest, like I mentioned before. It automatically populates your information or the response into that email field in like less than a second. It just goes bloop, and it's all there in front of you, and you can manipulate that if you want to. You can make some small changes and you send that email off. It is the biggest time saver. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's free. I don't think there's a paid version. I use a free version, and you can put heaps of different snippets in there. And so that is a massive, massive time saver that I highly recommend to you guys. So one more time, because I see a few people have jumped on the line since I shared this one. It is called Text Expander, TXT Expander, and it saves a massive amount of time for when you're having to send really similar responses time and time again. So have a think about that. Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. Okay, the next one we mentioned again right at the very end of Mark Fisher's show last week, and this one is amazing. I've been using this for probably the last couple of years. It is called Unroll.me. Unroll.me. Give me a thumbs up if you use this or if you've heard of it. If you haven't, then get onto this one. So Unroll.me is an automated system where I think it's once a week, maybe it's once every couple of weeks. You get an email from these guys and it says, I've identified, say, 20 different websites that you are subscribed to or you get newsletters from, or you've just fallen onto their list somehow. Here are all of the websites. Would you like me to unsubscribe you? It's amazing. And so within a couple of seconds, you can look through, you can choose to go, yep, get rid of all of them, or you might want to sort through them and say, yep, I want to keep those 5, get rid of those 2, keep those 7, whatever it might be. But what it means is that your inbox is no longer clogged up with a whole lot of subscriptions to random stores, to different websites that you've collected over a period of time. So one more time, it's Unroll.me, and it is a phenomenal resource for really saving time, decluttering what you're doing, and I highly recommend it to you guys. So Patrick just said, hey Summer, thank you for jumping on. Patrick was just saying that the iPhone has a setting like Text Expander too. Cool. Then you're going to try out Unroll. Definitely try Unroll. It's awesome. And speaking about that iPhone setting that you're mentioning, Patrick, I think you're talking about the iPhone itself, perhaps. Maybe give me a thumbs up if you are. I know that you can use the Text Expander app, the one that I was mentioning online. You can use that on the iPhone as well, which is cool. So let me know if you're talking about the app or if you're talking about something that's available in iPhone. I'd love to know that. Guys, the last one, I know I'm totally over time today. I've completely screwed up my 5 minutes, about 15 minutes. I might rename the show. I might rename it 15 minutes of Fitbispiration. Okay, the last one is about being effective with your time. And some of you might have heard me talk about this one before, but I've got to tell you, this was a massive game changer for me. And the app that I'm talking about is called Focus at Will, which is focus, the word focus, the at symbol, will, focus at will. And what this app does is it is actually scientifically designed to play music for you, that you choose the music, or it can actually help you, it can give you suggestions for music, but you play this music and it basically really helps you focus in on the task that you're working on. And I'm going to show you guys my phone, actually. That's probably a really good way to do it. And essentially, hopefully you'll be able to see this on screen. Essentially, there's a whole lot of different categories that you can choose from. That's the app there, if you guys can see it. It's a little bit glary on the screen. So it's called Focus at Will, and essentially there's things like classical music, there's spa, there's up-tempo, there's chill, there's cinematic. There's all these types of music in here. You decide on what the ritual is, what you're working on. For me, it might be like editing a show. For you, it might be writing a PT program, for example. I literally go, I need to shut out all other distractions, turn off my notifications, and just listen to Focus at Will. And I absolutely love this this app. So if you guys haven't tried it, then I highly recommend that you do. And like I said, you can actually go in and if you go to the website, Focus at Will, it will allow you to type in like a little bit about yourself so that you can work out what music is going to be best for you, or you can just scroll through and listen to what you want. Guys, that's it. That's our wrap for today, the longest ever 5 minutes of Fitbispiration. But I want to thank you guys for sticking it out with me today, and I hope you enjoyed those. Let's do one really quick recap. Look at all those love hearts. I love that. And I can't see who it is. I just see a whole lot of love hearts, and I'll take it. That's brilliant. So guys, first one that we talked about was for saving time. It was text expand. Oh, no, it wasn't. Let's go back. First one we talked about was tracking time. It was Toggl, Toggl. So that's going to help you track time. The second one we talked about was rescue time. That's going to be really specific, looking at how much time you're spending on social media versus how much time you're spending on things like Word and Excel and that sort of thing. The next two were about saving time. Text Expander was one, Unroll.me was the other, and the last one we talked about was being really time effective, and that is Focus at Will. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If there are things in there that you learned, make sure you give me a big thumbs up, give me a love heart. I can see them coming in. You're amazing, guys. Make sure that if there is someone that you think might benefit from this information, that you tag them in the comments below. And one last thing, if you happen to miss either of those shows, so the first one that I was telling you was actually Eric Fisher talking about 11 apps that you need to know about, then that is show 174. I want you to write 174 in the comments below. And the second one I talked about was with Mark Fisher, and that was 183. So you're going to write 183 in the comments below for me. Guys, that's it. We're done for another week of 5 minutes of Fitbispiration. Sending out love and hugs all over the world, guys. Have a fantastic day up ahead, and I will see you right back here next week for 5 minutes of Fitbispiration. See ya.